Hey, alright guys, I've been asked by a few people, 88 Plasterer, Neon Viper, other people on YouTube, to do a video on either the Qi Gung exercises, the energy exercises, and or stretching exercises to help with martial arts. Now, I believe stretching and the Qi Gung, the postures that you do, go hand in hand, and those stances that you develop and the stances in martial arts are the key to the martial way, because as you'll see, the postures form the beginning of the Qi Gung. Without the postures, which are very simple, then you don't have any Qi Gung, or you have limited Qi Gung. And also, all the stances in martial arts were at one point intended to be, say, yogic and self-supporting. So if your skeleton is supporting itself, obviously the muscles do support your skeleton, but if you're using bone alignment, then you can relax. You can stand in these weird postures that look very painful, and although you are employing muscle, you're employing bone alignment as well. But we'll start with the flexibility side of things. Now there's what I consider the golden egg of flexibility, or the golden whatever you want to call it, yeah? So, everyone knows it, it's very simple, yeah? Any yoga book will tell you it, but this is the key to dynamic flexibility. And for those of you martial artists who are trying to develop your horse stance, especially Westerners, we have a big problem with horse stance. Because in the Chinese books and when we train, it says to do it a certain way, back straight, and we try it and we get too much development on these front muscles in our legs, because we need the flexibility that our Chinese students or whatever have. So anyway, simple for you guys, I hope you can see. Yeah, pick a straight line, feet are about as far apart as your wrists, yeah, ankles and wrists. Toes splayed forward, yeah? All you need to do now is take one foot forward in that direction. Now this posture really unlocks your ability to be able to understand the alignment of your own body, yeah? So you take one foot out there, so it's pointing this way, and you keep this foot straight behind you. And what you do is you pull back on this foot, you walk it like this, you go heel, toe. You walk it like this until you're in traditional bow arrow stance, yeah? As it was probably passed on to the members of the Shaolin Temple as yoga warrior pose, yeah? Okay, so you might not be able to get this parallel with the floor, but some important points. You stand like so, and you look in the direction of your straight leg. What this is to do is it's to keep your hip from turning in. Because watch this, if my hip turns in, that's more martial arty, but that's not what I'm trying to do at the moment. I'm trying to get the flexibility. And just keep this leg as straight as you can and try and push that heel out. And this is like so, yeah? And or you can put your hands here, yeah? And make sure, if you do, you put your hands here, you're keeping in check your hip all the time. You want your hip to face, you want your hips not to tilt, you want your hips to be flat like you're leaning against the wall. Yeah? So, okay, so you just stay like that. Now, when you're doing this, you're free to gripping the floor. What you're not doing is just relaxing and letting your body go into it. You are relaxing, but what I want you to do is, so you can see there, yeah? Okay, when you're in this position and you've got the feeling of your hips stretched, yeah? I want you to grip the floor and pull in with this leg. Keep that alignment, but pull in with this leg and sort of push up. And with this leg you're just keeping it straight. And you're pulling, yeah? So your center of gravity doing this posture is straight down here. Not like most people would have you believe, where more weight's on the front leg. More weight isn't on the front leg. Yeah? Now what you're doing here is you're pulling, and I want you to be able to turn, basically, turn these top muscles off so that they're loose. And the bottom ones are tight. That's the key to this posture, yeah? For training it. Yeah? And you stand like that. Just for a little note, heel of this leg lines up with the instep of the back foot. Yeah? So if I creep it in, yeah, that's the line you want to draw with your feet. Yeah, but obviously that's over there. So anyway, so you go like that. Don't be afraid to walk this leg backwards. Too many times in the West we'll be like this, yeah? We'll be like, oh, and this muscle here will be burning. That's not what you want. If the top muscles on your legs are burning, you don't want it, yeah? You're doing it wrong. I had a big problem a few years ago with overdeveloping the top of my muscles here from too much stances in martial arts. I wasn't doing right. Okay, so we turn it the other way. Like I said, it's the same deal. Try and get yourself parallel. If you're having problems with this leg being too much here, just pull this one back. Yeah? Pull it back. Yeah? And stand. There. So I say to you, do it on a line. Yeah? So that, or draw a straight line so that you get the idea in the hip. And from here you just turn it. Do what I said. Right now I'm gripping the floor with my front foot. Yeah? See the muscle? Yeah? I'm gripping the floor and I'm pulling forward and up. Yeah? And with this foot here, I'm just letting it be as straight as possible, and I'm twisting. Well, not twisting, but I'm keeping my hips straight. Center of gravity's here, in the middle of the floor, not over there. Yeah? And I'm working to see this. See? It's more relaxed than it should be with this sort of stressed position. That's the idea, yeah? Lovely for your spine. If you've got any problems with your spine like I used to have, and still to some extent do, because I don't get to train enough, this will help. Anyway, so just stand like this as long as you can and cultivate a stable feeling. Just feel what your body's up to. Keep that form. And this is where the Qi Gung starts, because it starts with your breathing here and this alignment. Once you get more used to this, and you get used to the idea of this feeling of these muscles are turned off, then you can start to push down and actually push up off the ground, so that you feel your legs become like sort of posts. Yeah, same. I'll go on a flat line. Yeah, flat line for you. Yep, there. But, yep. And just stand. Squeeze with that. Yeah, I just want you to use this bottom muscle. Yeah? Okay. So, always get a click in my spine. So I hope you guys saw that. You train that on that side, train it on this side, yeah? And just stay in it as long as you can. I mean, how many minutes have I been? Okay, so I've been sort of maybe 5 minutes in each posture, give or take, not that long. But I mean, I'll watch TV and I'll just stand like that. Do you know what I mean? Once you've got the right alignment, that needs to be right. Yeah, I'll just stand like this, make sure I'm all lined up, and I'll just watch TV. Yeah. And the more you do it correct, the better it feels. So I'm pushing, I'm pulling up with this foot, I'm pulling sideways, I'm pulling against this foot. There's the bow arrow that you talk about. Yeah? This is where the qigong starts, because obviously it's similar in the hands with the qigong, with the tendons being stretched. This is body alignment and tendons being stretched. But it's difficult to get it in your legs. This is how, yeah? Okay, in future videos I'll go into more about what you do. But you really need to focus on this bow arrow feeling. It's called bow arrow stance for a reason. Yeah? That's from the Ba Dua Jing. Yeah, this particular movement, like so, in this leg position. Now, that's the idea, bow arrow, because, like I said, this is gripping the floor and pulling sideways. This is grip the floor and allowing itself to be pulled, and you just cultivate a solid feeling. It's a stretch, it's a dynamic stretch. Same on the other side. Yeah? From the Ba Dua Jin, the movement's slightly different, but if you practice like static qigong like I do, you'll see it's the same position, the end position, with the hands like so. But that's different. We won't go into that. Just focus on the important bit from the Ba Dua Jin for us, which is the legs. Ba Dua Jin is tendon and body sort of metamorphosis techniques from Kung Fu. 88 Plasterer, you might have heard of it, mate. And by the way, whilst I'm here, you are a bit of a legend, I must admit. You know, having gone and trained with the Shaolin and stuff in China, man, I could only dream of that stuff. So, my big respect to you. That's really cool, man. Maybe I'll get there one day. I don't know. Anyway, so you see, you should feel the bottom of your muscles. Now, this is flexibility. Yeah? Okay. So, yeah. Okay, so once you've done that, left and right, that's a good place to start with your flexibility. Yeah, honestly, it's from the Ba Dua Jing. I've used it for years, or yoga, warrior pose. Look into that on the internet. That will give you the exact feet alignment. But that's everything you need to know. Like I said, the difference in yoga is it's sort of, I think it gets you to try and, sort of stretch into that position and stay there, whereas what we want is the bow arrow for martial arts. We want that pull. So that's why one foot's got to be like this, one foot's got to be like that. If in doubt, go wider, because you can't really get a sense of how wide my legs are, but you know, that's about 1 meter in this room. So my feet are basically like 2 meters apart, almost, and a bit less. And I'm about 6 foot tall. So those are the sort of dimensions you're getting. You know, it'll be a bit less if you're shorter and a bit more, but for your body size, like a lot of Chinese people are shorter, and they do the postures, and it doesn't, you know, they draw it out for us on the floor, and they're like, oh, it's only that far apart, and then we go and stand on it. But for our body size, or for anyone's body size, you probably should be adding a foot to either one of those, yeah? Yeah? Okay, so I'm not sure whether to make this a part 1 or part 2, but try those, yeah? Because I've already gone on for 10 minutes. Try those, work with those, and see how you go. Honestly, it's an absolute treasure, that, and we'll go into some more of them in another video. Yeah.